So, fun fact. Earlier today, I was interested because I do believe that Tishri 1 is like tomorrow, Saturday, something like that. And so I just went on YouTube and I searched for Rapture September 2023 or just 2023. And September came up in the search terms. And so I looked and oh my goodness, you guys. Since I don't usually look at this stuff or look for this stuff or search to see what other people are saying, I just wouldn't have known. Maybe you guys are aware of everything that's going on. But I was astonished, frankly, that so many people are pinning their hopes for the rapture to like a couple of days from now. This is why it is so important to know the sequence of end times events and that Gog and Magog must happen before the 70th week starts, and that the rapture is tied to the start of the 70th week. Not that it happens at or after the start of the 70th week, but that we are removed because we are not appointed to wrath. And that is the commencement of a period of wrath. But it is so important to understand that Gog and Magog must come before all of that. And that it is very likely that Gog and Magog is tied to the rapture somehow because of the close proximity of both to the start of the 70th week. And it really underlies a fundamental, or I guess it just underscores a fundamental misunderstanding. This is how subtle and yet how pervasive the Hebrew roots movement falsity is. And it sounds good. I actually, for the very beginning of my research days, started in mid to late 2012, took me through 2014, maybe 2015, and I got caught up in that too, because it provides hard dates, and that's what everyone is looking for, is a hard date to attach to the rapture. And that's why these feasts are so popular as potential rapture dates, because you can point to a specific day on a calendar and watch for it. And that same day will come around every single year. So it's perpetuating this cycle of gotta watch, wanna know. And because people don't know the year, they just keep doing this every year. This is why I am an advocate of just finding the answer. It doesn't matter if it's a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I don't care. I just want to know the answer. Because then I can make my peace with it and move on with my life. But what these people do every single year is live in a state of limbo. Because maybe this is the feast, and maybe this is the year. No one gets firm answers, and so everyone stays stagnant, stuck, thinking that if they don't know the right day, that they're somehow going to miss it, going to not be included. It's what we call not seeing the forest for the trees. You're too close to it. You gotta back up, get some perspective. It's like you don't know how bad the storm is if you're on the eye of it. It's only when you're outside of it that you see the destruction that the storm causes. People who are invested in these fall feasts don't understand how off base they are with regard to the rapture or the second coming. because they are so stuck in it that they have lost all perspective. And it's encouraging that people are interested, disheartening that they are in all the wrong places, looking at all the wrong things. Sorry, my shoe's untied. So, this is something that I don't know that anyone can get past a certain point in Bible research if they don't understand that the fall feasts have been fulfilled. And it's not that, well, maybe they have a dual fulfillment. It's that, nope, there was a reason that they were on the specific days and that they had specific legal fulfillments in the body of Christ, the person of Christ. And if they are not mentioned as being relevant to prophecy, they are not relevant to prophecy. And we should not suppose that there is missing information because they are absent. We should suppose they are absent because they are not meaningful. Everything that we are given in the Bible is meaningful and purposeful. So if something is not there, we should not say that it's missing and we thus need to interpret what we think the gap means. It's there because it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. It's not right. The Feast of Trumpets was forward-looking to the incarnation of the Creator. God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, spake with the voice of a trumpet, hath in these last days spoken with the voice of a trumpet by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, and by whom also he made the worlds. Yes, the voice of the trumpet spoke creation into existence. This was done, began to be done, first day of creation on Tishri 1. Hence, the Feast of Trumpets is a memorial because it was remembering something that had already happened on that day in Israel's past, the first day of creation, when the Creator began to speak with the voice of a trump creation into existence. And it was forward-looking to the time when that Creator would incarnate and speak said voice on the earth for the purpose of ministry. It has nothing to do with the rapture. I believe that this is why this line of thought is, I wouldn't say it's irritating or frustrating. I would say I have a very special dislike for it, not because people are getting it wrong, but because people are trying to usurp the power of Christ. This is the same thing they do with the Revelation 12 sign. That is an exaltation of Christ to a place of kingship in heaven for the purpose of beginning to reign from heaven, him and him alone. 3.5 years later, we then join him on earth, not in heaven, to share what is his because he is gracious. But people just want to take that away from him, that exaltation away from him, and be like, no, that's ours. No, it's his. And at a point after that, he will begin to share it. We covet these things that are his because there is a point in the future that he has stated they will become ours. But they have to become his first in order for him to share it with you. The Revelation 12 sign has got nothing to do with you and I. People are trying to usurp the exaltation of Christ to a place of kingship, say that it's us because he said we will be kings also. Yeah, after that, 3.5 years after that to be precise, and not in heaven, on earth. People try to take what is Jesus's away from him and make it ours. It's like what he hasn't, he's already done a lot for us. Why can't we just accept it and stop trying to get more all the time? This is what I have an issue with, is the complete ingratitude of people. Is it not enough that he's going to rapture you and give you the reign alongside him in the millennial kingdom? Can you not just wait for them to get your crown? Try and take it early. And the Feast of Trumpets It's got nothing to do with the church. It has to do with Jesus Christ himself being God in the flesh, coming to minister to unbelieving people, sounding the trumpet, forward looking to the end of his ministry. Had nothing to do with you or I, because the church didn't exist. Gentiles were not invited to participate in Old Covenant, and that's where they were under at that point. These are the reasons that I have concluded why these lines of thought bother me as much as they do, is because people are trying to take what is not theirs simply because at a point in the future it will be given. Should wait for it to be given before trying to assume it for yourself. This is just my thoughts.